G'day everybody, Evan here. Welcome back to my second video in the Let's Play series. As you can see, I have not left where I was in my last package mission. I delivered it, and now I'm actually going to look around here and see if I can actually get myself any armor. Why do I need armor? Mostly because I'm afraid that I'm going to get shot at. So better to actually have something than absolutely nothing. And it's even better if it is for free, in the sense of I can get it from the loot boxes, and I don't have to spend any in-game credits on it. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to try to equip myself with as much as possible. Now, in saying that too, you don't have to do this. I do because I like to do it, but the benefit, okay, there's a lot in there, but the benefit to do that is that you could actually, if you wanted to, go off afterwards and actually sell some stuff. One of the important parts as well is that you can also equip things that you would normally buy, like for example what I've just equipped, that med gun, sorry. Well, it's maybe not called a med gun, but I'm going to call it that for lack of better words. I'm also going to try to, what is that? I've never seen that before. That's water, so I should be able to just drag and drop. Yay, that works. Thank God for that. Sometimes it doesn't. Why am I getting water and food? Well, believe it or not, you actually have to eat in this game and drink, which is quite cool. At the same time too, sometimes annoying if you're doing back-to-back type of missions, but yeah, you'll see. The ticker will come up and I'll explain then. I'm just looking around here to see if there's anything else there, which doesn't look like it. So now I'm off. I'm going to go back to my ship, and yeah, once I get in there, I will bring up the mobi-glass and I will look for the next delivery mission. Now, when doing these delivery missions, there are many ways you can do them. You can just go through and pick whichever ones you want, which is quite cool. Or you could also kind of start looking and strategizing, especially if you want to do them consecutively. What do I mean by that? It's just trying to streamline the delivery process. So if you're on the same planet or moon as the next, let's just say, delivery mission will start from after you've ended the previous one, it's probably a smart thing to actually just pick it up from there, as opposed to wasting time, and I'm just really mean it in time, in traveling from one place to another. Now, as you can see, I've done some damage in my last heroic stupidity approach, and yeah, I'm not going to fix it. I'm in survival mode. Let's see how far it gets before the ship goes bang. That would also be quite funny too. So now, where am I? What's the mission? There we go. These are the ones. You'll see here now that they're at 8k as opposed to the 3k, and I'm picking this one because it's on the same moon that I'm currently at. So that just means I don't have to spend too much time traveling to a different location and then coming back or doing something else. So it's streamlining. That's all it is. Now again, you don't have to play the game like this. I do, because I don't have that much time to play the game. I usually do this in my lunch breaks when my wife is not yelling at me. So yeah, as you can imagine, I don't really play the game that often. So I try to streamline as much as possible. Now what I'm going to do is look for where this thing, or where this location was. Now, in typical moons and stuff like that, you just have to get up out of the atmosphere a little bit, and I say that in inverted commas, line yourself up and quantum travel to that location. And if the game works correctly, you get all those fancy visuals, and off I go, I think. Okay. So I've never seen it like that before, but who can complain? I'm getting there. So yeah, again, it's easier, it's time saving. Now, you don't have to do this, and I've mentioned it before, you don't have to do this. You can basically do whatever you want in this game to a certain extent. If you want to go to the planet to pick it up, if you want to go somewhere to pick it up, it's fine. What you'll notice in this particular delivery mission I'm doing, you can actually pick up all three packages, and I'm saying this, there are three. Sometimes the actual mission only shows you sometimes 2, sometimes 1, depending on which bug you're facing. But there are always 3 packages, boxes, things to pick up. Excuse me. And as such, there are 2 ways to do this. There are usually 6 missions in the series, especially at this level. 3 of them are pick up all 3 packages at one location and then drop them off to different ones. Or the alternative is pick up... Oi! Oh, no, don't! Ah, am I dead? No. Ah. This is what I get for talking and flying. Oh, I should have paid more attention. Okay, I'm not dead. We're in survival mode. Oh, this is not going to look good. What was I doing? I was not paying attention. That's what I was doing. Okay, I didn't die. That's a good thing. Although I want to get the hell out of here as quick as possible. Ooh, that doesn't look good. Alright, let's go get the packages anyway. Let's see what happens. Yeah, but as I was saying, as I was rudely interrupted before smacking into a light post, was that with regards to the package delivery missions, you got your 2 options. The option 1, which is usually the first 3 missions on the list, is pick up all 3 packages from one point, which I like to do. Option 2 is to actually pick up all 3 packages from different locations, but deliver them to the one point. I usually don't like that because it means more flying time, and I know it sounds strange because basically it's the same thing just flipped around. But again, it just comes down to personal preference. However, in saying that too, you could actually spend some time, obviously I didn't, but you could actually spend some time actually reviewing where all these items are, as in their packages, as well as their package drop-off locations, because they actually provide that information in the actual mission itself, and you can actually map out the mission profile that you want to do. So for example, you may pick up one, let's just say you might do one mission that will pick all 3 packages up at one location and drop them off at different locations, and you'll realize in another mission 2 of those other locations actually allow you to pick up single packages and drop them off somewhere else afterwards. So there's obviously a little bit of reading and stuff that needs to be done, but yeah, you can definitely map it out like that. And in saying that, I think I actually will try to do that, obviously in my next video, not in this one. I think this one I'm going to try to just get better loot. Yeah, I'm reading it, and maybe I should explain that. So this is obviously your chest plate, and what I'm focusing more so here, and I'm trying to equip, is not the actual armor rating of it. I'm looking at volume in the sense of what I can carry. And I've seen that this red one actually allows me to carry more, which is quite good. So that means I can put more stuff into it. You can put ammunition into it, you can put guns into it. It just allows you, or food and water into it. So it allows you to do that. Now what you can do in these stations is, because you're at a location, you can actually take off your clothes and your armor and whatever at that location and have it stored at that location for a period of time. And you can equip yourself with the items in the lockbox or in the actual loot box, and you can definitely go from there. So it gives you an added option, which is, I know it might sound weird because who will really ever come back, but it does let you do kind of these type of things. So if you want to equip something better, you can actually store it at the station or the outpost where you're at, get the other stuff that you originally had, put it into the new one, and well, obviously you can't take it with you, so you can probably leave it there. There's a 99.9% probability it won't be there when you come back the next time, but then again, if you're just dumping it there, you don't need it in the first place. So you can see where this is going. So I'm going to try to do the same thing with the arms. Now with the arms, I can't put anything in there, but I can definitely utilize them a lot better. They've got better armor than what I have. So I've just dropped what I had, putting on the new ones, which is being a pain in the backside at the moment. Okay. Not a fan of the yellow, personally, but hey, beggars can't be choosers. Alright, more armor, more helmets. Now, what you could really do, if you're interested in looting, you can definitely buy yourself a backpack. You can go to these locations, you can put the things into the backpack, and you can actually go off and sell these things at different locations. And I might actually do a video on that just to show what that's all about. Again, most of the times you have that intention and then you end up dying, so it doesn't work out. So yeah, you just have to be very, very cautious about it. But one thing also too, you can't just can't even speak properly. You can't just endlessly. Thank you. Finally got the word. Endlessly store things. You actually have a limit. And you saw before that my indicator went to yellow, and it's not letting me equip. And I'm thinking the reason why it's not letting me equip is because I don't have the correct, let's just say, harness to hold the backpack. Regardless, we're here to do package missions, so let's pick up the next one. And again, I did mention in my previous video about cycle times. You will understand more and more why it's an annoyance for me, because when you do one mission with one item and you go in and out, yeah, you can live with that. But when you're constantly going in and out of the buildings to pick up packages, it kind of just gets annoying. And again, I said this in the last video, I understand the reason why they have it there, for realism in the sense of it. But it is just one of those things going, come on guys, always back and forth, and I have to wait. So yeah, again, it's realistic in a sense, but it's also annoying in another one. The one thing I must admit I really like about the game is the actual weather. Now, I know you might be actually saying, Evan, why the hell are you saying this? And it's purely because it's kind of realistic, which I kind of like, but it's also random, which I really like. It just adds an extra, what do you want to call it, an extra condition to the game. And I just realized that there's nothing behind here and I have to go back. Oh God, again, me talking and not paying attention. At least didn't crash into anything. But what I mean by this is that you could land on a planet or at a station or a moon. What station am I talking about? And you can actually have it as a nice sunny day, and then as soon as you come back, it's or come out of the actual place that you're in, it's absolutely gale force winds, things blowing away, and yeah, very different. So I find that quite cool. It can be very, very, very annoying to new players in the game, and I definitely at the beginning hated it because I didn't know what I was doing, and a lot of the times my ship just flew away. And yes, it can do this. And here's a little hint for you. Again, they've said this in many other YouTube videos, but I'll say it here as well, why not? When you actually land, a lot of people tend to keep their engines on. So they just press the Y button on their keyboard to get up. Why do they do that? Because when the engines are on, the ship stays where it is. Most of the time. So this is the important part to notice. When it stays at the location, there's a good chance you're going to come back and find the ship where it is, or where it was. If you turn the engines off and you go in and it's a real big storm, and they do have them. I mean, how many times have I found my ship like 500 kilometers away on Microtech because some wind came up, picked up the ship and threw it. It happens. I've actually seen it happen in front of me, and I was quite funny. I was running after it. It's a funny story. I was running after it, and there was another player nearby, and he said, "I'll help you out." And I said, "Okay, great," thinking that I was actually going to get a lift and he's going to fly me to my ship. No, he actually flew up and destroyed my ship. And he said, "There you go, now just kill yourself and you can respawn and get it again." And I said, thanks a lot. Yes, I could have given the guy a crime stat and everything like that, but it was quite funny in that sense. Annoying at the time, funny when you look back on it. But the point is, they fly away, and usually the lighter they are, they fly away easier. If it's a huge thing, like you're not going to push it with a bit of wind, but with the Aurora, definitely it has a tendency of just flying off. So this is why I land and keep the engines on, and I always do this. Now I know some people have said in the different patches that thing it doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, no. I like to play on the safe side, especially with that one. So here I've got all my 3 packages. I'm just going to drop the last one down, and I'm ready to go. Now if you've seen any of my earlier videos, I've actually said don't stack them 3 high. Why am I saying that? It's not because I want to keep a clean floor space. It's because when you take off and actually then, how you want to say it, give it a bit of stick, in other words, give it a boost of acceleration, everything falls, which is fine. However, they have a tendency of falling out of the ship, even though the ship's doors are closed. So yeah, it's going to be, just be careful of that. Now, where is the closest thing? Okay, so here's what I'm talking about. There are 2 locations on the same moon in this case, and one at ArcCorp itself. So I'm actually going to go to the moon first, drop off both packages in different locations, and then head off to ArcCorp. Now again, you don't have to do it this way. You could definitely turn around and go from the first one on the list to the second one to the third one, or third one to the second to the first, or you go from the second and then drop off the last 2. It's completely up to you. You got the freedom to do that. There is no penalty in that. The other thing that I find, for me personally, again, it's just time. Like I said, I play this through my lunch break. I don't have a long lunch break, as you will see. So yeah, that's where I just like to try to streamline this as much as possible, when the game works in my favor to do that. Sometimes you walk in with the best intentions and then you end up going somewhere else. Now what I just did, if you don't know, the seasoned players will know what I did, but for those that really don't actually understand what I just did with the quantum travel, there's actually points around the moon and the planet where you can actually quantum travel to, which gives you a better, let's just say, view, is that the right word? I would say probably line of sight is probably the easiest way to say it, to the next location. So that means before I just couldn't jump to this place because the moon itself was in the way. So I had to get into a higher orbit in order to actually see this place with a targeting computer and then go. And that's what those waypoints around the planet are. I call them waypoints. I think it's called something else in the game. I'm sure it's called something else in the game, but yeah, that's just the idea behind it, and it takes a little bit of getting used to. So basically, just think of it this way: if your ship can't see the actual item that you're flying to and it comes up with a red mark, it means that either 2 reasons. 1, you're too close. Actually 3. 1, you're too close. 2, you're in the atmosphere and it won't let you go. Or 3 is that it's obstructed by whatever is in front of it. And this is where these points actually allow you to kind of get around the obstruction and then see where you're going, and off you go. So again, quite cool in that sense. If you played the game long enough, sometimes a little bit annoying, but yeah, that's how it goes. Now what you'll also notice too is I try to avoid utilizing the actual the map of the or the star system and select the planets and everything like that. I personally don't like the system because it actually takes like 5 or 10 tries to get it right. For me, I find it far easier just to turn on my quantum drive, figure out where the hell I have to go, line myself up and press the button. Now that works around about 60% of the time. Sometimes it doesn't, so you actually have to utilize it, and you can do that by pressing F2 on your keyboard if you're playing the game. And yeah, but that's just, again, another personal thing. I know a lot of other people love it in the sense of love to use it, but they don't like the interface. I personally just like, nah, it's a time thing. So here I am, I'm coming in for a landing. I'm not going to be stupid. I'm not going to crash into something this time. I'm being very, very, very cautious. I'm going to put the ship down a little bit on the side. There you go, perfect. And this is another thing you have to also look at at Star Citizen, especially with the ships being the size that they are. Now, I'm talking, what package do I actually need? What's the number? Okay, that's the number. Sorry, I'll get back to you as soon as I make him bigger, please, just slightly bigger. Okay, so that's also an important thing. Two important things, I'll actually say it. So the first one that I was going to actually mention is the fact that when it's blowing a windstorm, which doesn't seem to be there now, but when it's blowing a windstorm, try to put your ship into the, I would say, kind of a side or parallel to it. Let's say, like, not a parallel, that doesn't work, more so perpendicular, so at right angles. And I say this because, yes, if you leave your engines off, it'll blow the ship away. But if you leave your engines on, you can actually exit the ship from the other side without being knocked over several times. So that's the benefit behind it. If you open the door when the wind is blowing right at you, obviously you're not going to get far very fast. And that's a part of the game I do like. They actually make you think. You can't just put the ship anywhere and say, there you go. So, delivered this one, and that's all fine. And would you believe it? I forgot the... yes, now I remember. When you're doing these missions, each package has a serial number, and you saw it a little bit before. That's the package and the only package that can actually be delivered to that location. Sounds fair enough. You have to make sure that when you collect your packages, that the serial numbers in that sense are matching to where you're going to drop them off. That's my only hint. Now, when you have 3 packages and you've gone to your location, you have to make sure you pick up the right one. That's all I'm going to say to that. But yeah, don't try to pick up just one random one from the ground and put it in. It won't work, and you'll get those lovely crosses saying that it's not working. So I don't want to jinx it, but so far so well. We've picked up all 3 packages. We've delivered the first one. I'm going to now get myself into a higher orbit and find where I actually have to drop off my next one. And on the same moon, and I'm calling it a moon. People can yell and say if it's an asteroid. So is that called OM? It is. Or orbital marker. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Waypoint, orbital marker. Yeah, my view, same thing. So yeah, going up to the orbital marker, and now I'm looking for my package delivery. There we go. Line myself up, let the drive spool. I'm in the green, hit the B button, and off I go. Now if you're wondering what those flashes of yellow on the side of my ship, no, I'm not firing at things. That actually means that my ship is broken. It's also indicated by the lovely blue light in the cockpit. Again, it's not because of any other reason than I've crashed into something earlier, the big light post in the middle of nowhere, and my ship has taken damage. So it's just a visual indicator for you as the player to do something about it. Now when you repair the ship, all blue light goes away, flashes go away, and you're laughing. However, and I say this, this is another important thing you have to know when you're playing the game. If you are a beginner in the game, you're going to crash your ship, you're going to do damage to your ship. My advice is don't waste your in-game credits in repairing, because more often than not, you're going to die. Which means you're going to wake up at wherever your restoration point is, and you're going to have to claim your ship. And when you claim your ship, it's basically a new ship and everything's fixed. So again, I know some people say yes, please repair. Other people are just sitting there saying, well, you're going to die soon anyway, so why waste the money? I'm part of that thought as well. But I have done it on occasions where I've actually repaired the ship because I know I've done, or I want to do consecutive missions, and then it ends up biting you in the ass because the server crashes and then something happens. So let's see how I land this one. Is it going to be picture perfect? Or no. But at least it's landed. So, jump out of the seat again. And, yeah. Which package is this one now? Is it the top one or the bottom one? There you go. Grab it. Drops the other one. Still in the ship. We're laughing. Get out. And drop it off. So, yep. I would really be interested to know, really, just as a laugh, if there are any like people that have a job in the real world as any type of a post person, or like package deliveries, or even truck drivers. If they actually do play these games, I'd be really interested to understand that, because I don't know personally if I could actually work like 9 to 5 doing deliveries and then coming onto a game and playing deliveries. I don't know if that would actually drive me nuts or not, but I'd be very interested to hear what anybody else thinks. If you do this, I mean, that would be quite cool as well. I mean, if you're passionate about it, yeah, sure, why not? But I don't know if other people do it. I know that I know some doctors, and they say when they come home and they watch TV, the one thing that they don't want to watch is like those medical shows, because they sit there and they say that it feels like that they're back at work. I don't know if this is actually the same thing, but I'd be very interested to know, just for my personal curiosity more than anything. So yeah, ooh, okay, now I can see. Yeah, can you imagine smacking into a light post and how much damage that causes? No difference to a car, if you've ever had that lovely experience. Yeah, so my last package, and my last package is at ArpCorp itself. It's not Area 18, I don't believe it was, but it is definitely at ArpCorp. Now, this is going to be new to me because I've never been to ArpCorp before, and again, I've seen videos, yes, but I've never flown there myself, so I'm going to be very interested to see what this looks like. And also too, because my computer is, what you would like to say, struggling with this game, I'm going to be very interested to see what it would actually load up as. So yeah, I'm interested, and I'm talking again and not paying attention to what I'm doing. I need to find where I'm going. So let's go for the orbital marker, line him up, spool him up, and bang. Now where is, okay, I have to go around the planet now, don't I? Which one do I want to go? Yeah, it's obstructed. I'll go to this orbital marker, and off I go. So this is what I mean. Ooh, it looked like I was going to smack it, but I didn't. So yeah. Now again, the benefit or the drawback to just point and shoot with respect to trying to line up for a quantum jump as opposed to setting it on your map is that you will see that there are other things in orbit, and sometimes you actually have to line your ship up correctly to get to the right place. So as you saw briefly, there was something in there called a ComSat, which you can actually go to, and you can also go to the planet itself. Obviously I want the planet, I don't want the ComSat, and I say I don't want the ComSat because a long time ago I actually went to a ComSat, got blown up for whatever the hell reason, and I don't really want to repeat the experience, because then my ship wouldn't actually get claimed, and I spent about 3 weeks with the support team trying to get my ship back. Yeah, so I want to avoid ComSat. Again, it won't happen to everybody, but that's my personal experience. And God, there is a lag here. Wow, that's bad. Okay, I'll explain that too. So when you are actually on moons and everything, there's not that much there to actually load up and render by the system. When you are at a planet, Microtech, ArcCorp, Hurston, whichever one you're at, there is a lot more detail there, which means the frame rate of the game goes down, and the time that these things take to load up also takes a little bit longer. So even though it looks like the game is paused, it kind of really hasn't, but you are just now facing a lot of lag. Okay, so kind of expected more to ArcCorp than this. Not really impressed. It looks like straight. Big deal. Ah, it's still rendering, that's why. And this is what I mean. So, word of advice. I've probably said this before, but I'll say it again. If you're a new player to the game, and I'm not the only one that has said this as well, my recommendation is, and I know it's hard to avoid, my recommendation is don't spawn up on the planets. If you can, space stations. And the further away the space station is from my planet itself, the better it is. Why am I saying that? Purely because of load times. If you're like me and have a system that struggles when it plays this game, even though it's as maxed out as it possibly can, I've switched off everything I can possibly switch off, this game still chews up quite a lot of memory. If you load up in a place where there's a lot of stuff going on, like a planet, then it's going to constantly try to load everything and it will just take forever. If you're at a starbase, it's too Star Trek-y. If you are at a different location where there is minimal amount of things to load up, then it will be far quicker, like a space station. Now, the ones in orbit, you can kind of question if it is the right place or not. I usually like to do things a little bit further out personally, because it just makes my startup time a lot quicker. Because there have been times when you actually start the game that you don't just press the button, launch in, and off you go. You end up waiting for about 5-6 minutes. Sometimes I've waited even up to about 10 minutes depending on where I am. And it's a good thing too, I've just turned my light on because I would have crashed into this thing for sure. So yeah, this looks like it's the final part of me actually getting ready to land. And what I will do after I do this is what I normally do. I will deliver the package and then I will actually get the notification, hopefully that it's complete, and that's a much better landing. And I will actually then have a look at my career growth to see how much, in lack of better words, experience I've actually obtained. So that will be about it. And just also looking at the time too, might also be a good idea to stop this video here. And what I will do, and I'm actually thinking about this, and I don't know if it's going to work. What I will do is I'll go into my ship after that and log off. I'm hoping it works. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. Well, let's see what I do. Maybe I'll just do something else for the moment. But yeah. Okay, so this is a completed run. As you can see, we were very fortunate. All 3 packages were delivered. We didn't die, even though it came bloody close. And there were no bugs. So you can classify this 8K AEUC well earned. Now let's have a look at the Mobiglass into the career path. So I got a bit of money there, very nice. There we go. And it's gone, and I'm gonna, well, I can get my next one, can't I? But will I? No. I will look at the, which tree? Ah, yeah, that one. So yes, as you can see here, we got a little bit more experience, not a lot, but we just did 1 mission. So what can we say? We still got a little bit to go before we complete the junior runner part, so that's all okay. And am I gonna, yeah, let's try this. All right, everybody says you can log off on your ship and you can come back, and there you are. I've done this about, I don't know, 5 or 6 times myself over the last 6 months. It never worked. I always ended up in some location. But let's see how this works. Maybe with this new patch they've fixed that. So log out. All right, so I will see you in the next one, wherever I will end up logging in. Thanks all. Thanks for watching.